again, you know, I've tried to be an innovator, and I have, and you know, it's something that I'm gonna throw this out there. Has not been a guitarist in a long time that has innovated the way I have, and I'm gonna tell you and see. There's a reason why. For example, I chose a different path. Here's the normal path. You get in a big band, then you branch out and you become a guitar hero. Okay? Steve Vai, I love Steve Vai. He never did an instructional video. Never. And because when we did Speed Kills, you can't fake it. Okay? And I'm not saying Steve Vai fakes anything. I don't mean that. But most of the videos you see online, I have a new one where I play at EVH, at my Eddie Van Halen medley, which I'm going to play. It's just live and in your face. I want it to be different. See, I'm a student of music. The reason I'm so good still for my age and that I stay in shape is I'm always a student. See, I'm never so good that I think that I can't learn something new, because we have people my age that sound exactly like my parents. Oh, back in the old days, music was so much better. Oh, I don't even know any of them new bands. You know, and I see thousands of guitars. The young guitarists today are the best generation I have ever seen in my life. And people and my friends, I have a friend who won't even talk to me anymore because he plays like Wishbone Ash. Okay, they're still doing leads like the Allman Brothers. And I told him, and he's criticizing all these young players. I said, dude, I said, you know, and he tells me about what I should be doing. I'm like, wait a second, I'm the guy that's got the guitar in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You know, what are you doing? You know, playing Pepe's Pizza Parlor on Thursday night. You know, and not saying Pepe's is a bad place, but you know, people are giving me this advice that wise men don't need it and fools won't heed it. You know, I don't give advice. I don't walk up to somebody and goes, I think you should wear a blue shirt instead of a yellow shirt. And so, but I had this guy, he's telling me all this stuff, and so I couldn't take it anymore. And finally, I'm listening to his tirade about how music in the past, and he's doing these double leads, and I said, you know what? The leads are lame. I said, I'm sorry. I said, you play restrained. I said, a lot of the guitarists in the past don't have the technique of the present-day guitar player. I said, you listen to some of these younger players. I said, they will rip your face off. I said, they're doing complex double leads. I said, they're using whammies. They're doing every technique in the book, and they're playing with a ferocity that you just don't even know. I haven't talked to him in 10 years. See, it's okay to give me advice, and you want to hear it back. And so, but I'll tell you this. If somebody thinks they're so good they can't learn anything, that's the next line is, back in the old days, it was so much better. I mean, how much better was it? Do I love Led Zeppelin? Yes. Do I love even Wishbone Ash and the Allman Brothers? Yes. But you have to think new. I mean, I liked my clamshell phone too. But if I walked up on stage and went, hello, Mom, you know, it's like, you know, with nothing on it, you know, like no camera, no nothing. You have two choices. You either embrace what's going on now, or you get left behind. That's it. So, I mean, there's no other choice. If you want to live in the past, that's okay. I'm not one to judge anybody, but I listen to young players. I don't discount something just because it's not what I prefer. And you know, Gene Simmons, this is another thing that I'm really an advocate about, because I've been an educator my whole life, and this is what I'm saying about being an innovator. When you talk about this over-under move, and I'll show it to you, I invented it. Now, how do I know this? I'm a student. I studied Bach, I studied Beethoven, I studied Elton John, I studied the Beatles, I studied Supertramp, and I analyzed them. I mean, you name it. I studied the song Blackbird by the Beatles. That is so perfectly written in a two-part style. Johann Sebastian Bach could have wrote it. And I'll give you a quick example, then I'll show you my... Okay, you have this. You have a two-part song. You have a bass and a... So you have two parts going on. Now listen. You have what you call contrary motion. The bass is going. But down, 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 down. Then you have the upper voice moving up and moving down. Parallel motion would be. But no good songwriter writes like that. They write in contrary motion. You have this voice moving up and down with this chromatically ascending and descending bass line. When I figured that song out, I went, this guy's a genius. This is Johann Sebastian Bach. That's why the Beatles are so good. So I studied this. There's a reason it sounds so good and we like it, because There are many elements in what the Beatles did, even people like Elton John, Queen, Led Zeppelin, you can look at them and you can look at the past and say, the geniuses of their eras had a lot of things in common. One of them was the way they wrote. And the way they wrote music, just this song, Blackbird alone, Bach could have written it. It's so perfectly two-part. I mean, if I would have written it, my theory teacher, unless he was just hated me, would have given me an A+, said this is genius. It's genius. It's not anything less than that. Now here's what this over-under came up.